all this a long time, we have been exhorted to remain absent from the screen. But presently, we have to remain on screen. Online classes have risen as the go-to solution for schools looking to continue classes in spite of the widespread. But agreeing to me, online classes may not be a great way out. With the presentation of online learning in India, students, in conjunction with guardians, were excited to see the computerized age of the nation in progress. Students in specific were excited to go to their school from home. But with time, guardians began to induce concern for expanded screen time, and students as well are presently stressed almost the same. With the presentation of online classes, the entire framework has changed. The notes that we utilized to compose a mini lesson, which were considered as classwork, have presently ended up the homework. So presently, once the classes are wrapped up for the day, we not as we were got to bargain with the homework, but moreover, with the classwork homework. In this kind of setting, many students struggle in new normal. They were not used of the mode of learning. Early resumption of classes will just cost extra burden to families and guardians giving educational costs and allowances as they move to new normal. Academic freeze will deliver the nation time to have successful and effective mass testing or mass immunization as it well within the hands of one, but for a collective and responsive framework to push through the pandemic. As distant as their underprivileged students who are victims of a mutilated framework, they can fair recover from a domestic trauma if mental health and public security are prioritized. There are many of lists of struggles of students during this time of pandemic. First is, having no signal is one of the struggles of students in the new normal. This can be a problem for students, especially when they are in an online class or have a busy task to finish. Because of the signal, students were not able to stay at home because they need to go out to find a place where the signal is fast. One example I can cite is my experience. Our place in the dead end where our signal is weak. So I am stressed when I have an online class because sometimes I have to go out to find a signal when it's a bit task. Sometimes I get late because even when I click turn in, the next day turn in late appears. Imagine remaining online for weeks paying for web and reaching the computer shops, all for the purpose of compliance, whereas families are battling and others have nothing to eat. Considering us, it were how to survive each day pushing through an online mode of learning will just make everyone struggle. Not everybody has steady web connection and it would be difficult or more awful, impossible for a few students to reach a signal. COVID-19 provoked widespread closures of schools and colleges over the Philippines, whereas the adults bargain with the worst of the crisis. The children remain at home. That's how it's gathered and to be bought. In any cases, online classes don't grant everybody the choice to fair remain at home. A 20-year-old student from Capiz died in a street accident on her way home from seeking out for an online connection, and another 20-year-old student in Masbate had to climb a mountain to urge web to get for her online examinations. Compliance with school necessities apparently can be expensive for a few students. Another struggles of students is slow internet connection and financial problem. Slow internet connection or need to buy a load even if you do not have or money. Some students do not always attend online class because they do not have internet and their lack of money. It becomes difficult for students to cope up with a lesson. One of my friends was not able to attend online class because there is no Wi-Fi and load. Based on my own experience, the Wi-Fi I use is not very fast, and sometimes I get lost in discussion. There are times that I don't see the teacher's presentation sometimes. The online classes set up or modular incorporate, buying gadgets and paying for the web both cost that numerous. Numerous Filipino families cannot manage during a time of widespread. Concurring to the Philippines measurement specialist, the unemployment rate in April 2020 raised to 17.7%, which is proportionate to 7.3 jobless Filipinos. You see? The thought of getting scholastically cleared out behind may be a mental and enthusiastic pressure that numerous students would do everything to avoid. One student exposed his experience with a young lady in Omegle and up, and a serious platform. The young lady was offering nude photographs in trade for cash, as she claims, for online classes, and she's not the only one turning these strategies to form cash. The struggles was the last but the most complained by students. Heaps of piles of tasks are given even if the students have not finished the rest. Students are stressed and sick because of the amount of tasks given and need to be submitted immediately. Sometimes, due to drowsiness and hunger, tasks are not performed properly. As a result of this, to my body and to the health of most of the students, our body becomes weak and always tired due to lack of sleep. Or we get sick sometimes and we can no longer do the task. We can no longer eat at the right time because we cannot leave too many tasks. This kind of learning was prepared by the institution to execute this strategy by giving gadgets and students allowances, which has increased the regulation inadequacy. In resolving the isolation over the nation, since it would be take off students of most institutions behind. Oh my god. However, it might moreover not be healthy and perfect within the long run. A situation where students getting to be stagnant is conceivable. The enthusiasm to memorize may gradually diminish as students spend more days in their homes with no scholastic works and assignments to center on. Academic freeze might moreover empower other students not to return to school, particularly with students coming from poor families. There are so many negative effects of this online class. They are one of those individuals who took the activity to discover a work in the midst of this crisis so that they can offer to help their guardians with their regular needs. Without the presence of academics, students may forget the significance of education and will be less likely to enroll within the another semester. Indeed, circumstances concerning sensitive issues may moreover emerge as a student spent less time in school or with schoolworks. Cases of teenage pregnancies, residential violence, as well as harassment may increase particularly in families who as of now have a history with such issues. But despite of these negative parts, students' health must be put on safety, not just on virus, but also on stress and pressure. So therefore, these students need to proceed their education so bravely that they are willing to resort to strategies. Oh my god. Even if that might put them in danger. Have the DepEd developed so desensitized to the cries of the students? Have they turned a dazed eyes to the struggles of the Filipino students? Educational achievement is intensely influenced by the digital divide, and this remains genuine to numerous nations within the world. Numerous areas with the Philippines have attained an access to the internet connections. Students and teachers would need to climb tall places to urge internet access. Moreover, as stated by Star final year, 13 million Filipino families don't have electricity. Therefore, to move to online classes will put certain Filipino students' population at a disadvantage. In the event that there's no internet connection, how can students do research work? How can they be connected with their teachers? The Philippines is facing uncommon issue, financial and social challenges. The normal days behind us. And subsequently, we should stop attempting to keep the normal things within the times of new normal until all the battles set over are legitimately tended to and mass testing is well on the way. Solidifying with academic school year may well be our best option for present. The pressure is on everyone's mind. So if possible, implement something that will benefit the majority. No student should be left behind. Education may be right, but crisis reaction talks of valuing human lives. That's all. Thank you.